Sharpening tips. Here's the first thing you really need to pay attention to. Any blade, new blade, old blade, replacement blade, the first job is to flatten the back. You want the back to be nice and flat. So you're only working on the bevel in order to create your edge. Now, in order to do that, you need a couple of very simple tools, and you can get started. Now, there are many ways to flatten the blade. My preferred way is to use a diamond stone. This is an investment. It's worth it. If you're working by yourself, one of these diamond stones, this is a DMT from Sharpening Supplies, it'll last a really long time. Blade is flat. You could use sandpaper on a piece of glass. Here's a piece of glass here. My blade, stone out of the way. This is a 1/2 inch piece of float glass. So this is flat. I put it on my flat bench. I put down a piece of that kitchen cabinet rubber mat and give it some water, a little stickiness, maybe add a weight to it so it doesn't move around. Now I've got a surface I can work on, right on my bench. It's not that sloppy. Get a little spritz of water on the diamond stone and start to go to work. How long will it take? Depends on the blade. Really does. Depends on the blade. If it's a good blade and you spend a lot for the tool, whether it's a hand plane or a chisel, it won't take that long. 5 minutes maybe. If it's a crummy one, it could take 20 minutes. And you're sitting there wondering, why did I cheap out on this tool? Good question. So that's the first job. Flatten the back. Now make sure when you're doing this work, use the whole stone. If you're not using a diamond stone on a piece of sandpaper, you'll hear the sound change as you wear away the abrasives. This work is just rubbing. That's it. Keep at it. I stand up, but you lose my head. So I'll stay seated and finish this job up. How do you know when you've gone far enough? You want to see consistent scratch marks all the way along the back edge of the tool. Now, the diamond stone I'm using is an extra coarse, which translates to about 220 grit sandpaper. From there, I would go to probably jump to a fine stone, but if you had all the stones, you'd go from an extra coarse to a fine to a very fine, or 220 to 400 to 600 to 1,000 grit, something like that. It's up to you. But the job is to keep the blade flat and to get the back flat. Now, in truth, the only thing you really need is right along that edge. But I want to get, most of this blade, this is a scraper blade, flattened. This is a really important job, so get this job done, and then you can move on, and I'll talk about bevels later on. I'm Gary Rogowski. I run the Northwest Woodworking Studio online mastery program. Very first day, we start talking about sharpening. Is it such an important part of your regimen, your knowledge base, your habit as a woodworker? I remember these first tools I bought, I could not get them sharp. They were useless to me. Learning how to sharpen opens up a lot of doors for you, whether you're a hand tool or a power tool woodworker. Got to know how to sharpen. Check us out at northwestwoodworking.com for more information on the online mastery program.